This is an audio-only recording of a yoga exercise session for Vision of Adventure. This winter our sessions are sponsored by the charity, Fight for Sight. A yoga session led by Hannah Robleski.
Okay, so we'll get started lying down. And you can place your hands, maybe place your hands onto your tummy. And you can place it either on your lower back or lower tummy or your lower ribs, wherever it feels like your arms can relax as much as possible. And then close your eyes for a moment. Just closing your eyes and take a moment to arrive on your designated yoga mat or space that you have chosen. Take a moment for your body to settle. So that your heart and your mind can settle too. And this part of class is our time to let our thoughts come and go. So it's not actually about having an empty mind or no thoughts at all. It's more about noticing where your mind goes, noticing whether your body finds it easy to settle, or whether there is still some nervous energy in the body. Maybe at the end of the day, there is some fatigue in the body. So this is the time where we take stock. We take stock of how's your body doing? How's your heart? How's your mind? Always from a place of curiosity, inquiry, and never from a place of judgment. Today, I invite you to move through your practice, noticing things. Be curious and open. And then start bringing your awareness to your breath. Simply noticing the rise and the fall of the belly, the expansion of the ribs as you inhale and how they gently hug around you as you exhale. And then start noticing your breath only through your left nostril. Imagine the only breath you take is in and out through your left nostril. Paying close attention to the sensation of the air brushing against your nostril as you breathe in and out, calmly and steadily. And then take one more breath here through your left nostril. Moving the attention over to the right. Breathing in, paying only attention to the right nostril. That sensation of the air brushing against your right nostril. And if you haven't already, you bend your knees and bring your awareness back to your breath through both nostrils. You reach your arms back and behind you and grab hold of the opposite elbows, resting the forearms down onto the forehead or onto the ground. Walk your feet in until inner knees and toes are touching. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle. So ankle over ankle, ankle over ankle. Allow the knees to now open sideways down towards the ground. So like a butterfly, the right knee opens to the right, left knee opens to the left. That's it. Breathe very deliberately into the side of the ribs. Take 2 more breaths here. Take 1 more breath. And then cross the ankles, cross the gripping of the elbows. So changing which forearm is on top. And you might find that this is the more comfortable position for your legs. Maybe it's the least comfortable position. Your arms probably feel a little bit wonky. We often take our preferred side first. Breathe in deeply into the sides of the ribs. Take 2 more breaths. And then place the feet back down onto the ground. Stretch the legs forwards to the front edge of the mat. Full body stretch. Stretch the arms back and behind you. Think about creating one line between the fingertips down the side into your hips, your legs, your outer heels. Exhale, bring the knees close to the chest and wrap the hands around the shins, creating the little ball and sway a little bit from side to side. Now place the left foot down, right leg stays. Take 3 pulsations of the knee close to your chest and pull close, pull close, pull close, and then change the legs. The same thing, right leg down, left leg, and pull, and pull, and pull. One more time, change. So bringing your right leg close to your chest, pull 3 times, work, breathing out as you bring it closer, and change. Bringing your left knee close to your chest, pull a little closer. That's it. And then placing the foot down, reaching your right arm back and behind you. Roll to your right side, make yourself into a small ball on your side, curling up into this fetal position. Place your left hand into the ground and bring yourself up into a seated position that can be cross-legged, or if cross-legged isn't an option, you can also sit with your soles of the feet together, knees apart. Place your hands onto your knees with palms down, finding that nice long spine. Breathing in, lifting the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale out. And from here, reaching your arms down to the ground and then reaching them up sideways or forwards, whatever feels better or what space you have available, reaching your arms up towards the sky, thinking through your fingertips. Exhale, bring them through the middle to your heart. We repeat that 2 more times. Breathing in, floating your arms down and then up towards the sky. Bring your hands over your head in a prayer position and then to your heart. And then last one, reaching your arms down, then up to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely. And then bringing your hands back down onto your knees. So moving through our pelvis here, through our lower spine. So bringing your upper body forwards, sideways, back and side, creating that sort of thinking about if you had a pen on your head, you would draw a circle on your ceiling. And that movement doesn't come from the head, but it comes from the bottom of the spine. Lovely. And then we'll take it to the other side. Beautiful, everyone. Keeping your shoulders nice and low. That's it. And then come back to center. From here, reaching both arms up high. Place your right hand onto the opposite knee. Bring the left hand behind you on the ground, taking it into a twist. You inhale, you bring everything back to center, arms up towards the sky. Other side. Left hand, right knee, right hand behind you. Inhale, reaching up. We repeat that 2 more times on both sides. Exhale, twist. You can work in your own breath. So when you're breathing in, you reach up. As you exhale, you find the twist. 1 more in each side. You're breathing in, you're lifting up. And when you exhale, you twist. You breathe in, that brings you all back to center. Exhale brings you into your twist. And then inhale, come back to center. Rest your hands onto your knees. Lovely. From here, shrug your shoulders back, sitting up tall 1 more time, reaching both arms sideways. We take a little side stretch here. So right hand down onto the ground, walking your right hand over more towards the right. Left arm reaches up towards the sky and then up and over towards the right, dropping through your left sit bone. We're not going to hold here for long. So again, thinking of working with your breath. So inhale brings you back to center. And then we move this over to the other side. So left hand down to the left, walking it over to the left, reaching your right arm up. Now, as you come back in the middle, try to have that 1 moment where you're right in the middle and your arms are reaching sideways. So if I was to take a photo of you, you would be perfectly in this open position of reaching the hands away and then take it to the other side. That's it. So try to always come through this really nice open offering of a hug, reaching the arms out to the side, finding the reach before you go over to the other side, to the left. Lovely. Coming back to center. When you inhale, we do each side 1 more time, working with your own breath. So take your time. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Lovely work. From here, stretch your legs out to the front. Take a few circles through your wrists and ankles with your feet and articulate through your fingers and your toes as well whilst you're doing that. So you can flex and point the feet, flex and point your hands. Take a few circles. Or you might have heard it clicking there in my wrists. Clicking is nothing we need to be worried about. It's just little air bubbles that pop. Unless there is some sharp pain, then that we don't want it to happen. But if there's no pain, it's just air bubbles, nothing to worry about. And then we'll come on to all fours. So come onto all fours. We're starting with our cat-cow. So bringing your hands ever so slightly in front of your shoulders, knees ever so slightly behind your hips. Knees are as wide as your hips, so you can roughly fit one fist between your knees. That's usually where they would be placed. And your hands ever so slightly in front of the shoulders. And then from here, rounding your spine as you exhale, bringing your chin in. Inhale, lift and lengthen both ends of the spine, lifting your heart, shoulders back. Exhale, rounding the spine, bringing the chin in. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, rounding your spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Last one. Exhale, rounding your spine. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Lovely. And then coming into a neutral spine. From here, walk your hands a little bit more forwards. And then shift your weight more into your knees and hands. So you bring your heels towards your bum. And allow your pelvis to drop ever so slightly down towards the ground. So weight more onto your hands there, Esther. So bring your weight forwards onto your hands. And then lower down until you come to lie onto your tummy. That's it. Good. From here, bring your hands right and left next to your chest height. And have only your hands on the ground. Your forearms are gently lifted, and the elbows, you're almost trying to imagine that they're trying to touch each other behind your back. So that helps already with like bringing your shoulders back. From here, roll your shoulders back, lifting your heart. Only lift as high as you can without using your hands first. Exhale, release down. As you do this, keep your tops of the feet where your sandal straps would be pressing into the ground firmly. Take 2 more. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, release. Lovely. Last one. Breathing in, lift. Exhale, release. Great. Now this time you can come a little higher. Nothing changes in the legs. The legs are still strong, pressing into the ground. You're lifting your heart first as high as you can without using the hands. And then you start pressing the hands down into the ground, lengthening your elbows, lifting your heart. Shrug the shoulders back. Exhale, release. And here, every time you can start on lengthening your elbows, every time a little bit more. Inhale, lifting up. So maybe you start at 60% and then at 80, and then you come to 100. Exhale, release. Working with the breath. Very nice, everyone. One more time. Breathing and lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Lovely, great work. Now bring your hands underneath your forehead for a moment. Shimmy with your hips from side to side. So you start rolling over your thighs, shimmying from side to side, giving those thighs a little bit of a massage. Then bend your knees. Bring your feet on top of your knees. So flex the feet. Imagine that you're holding a tray of drinks on the soles of the feet. So pull your toes down towards the floor. So really nice active feet. Now root both front of the hips firmly into the ground. And you start moving your legs from side to side like a windshield wiper without losing your hips on the ground. So both frontal hip bones stay on the ground. So it's a really small movement. We're working on that internal and external rotation of our thigh bones in our hip socket. Great. From here, bringing your feet down towards the ground. Good. Now reach your right arm forwards on the ground. Flip your palm sideways so that your palm is now facing towards the left. That's it. Now, as you inhale, lifting your upper body and your right arm off the ground, lift your left leg at the same time. So you're breathing in, thinking about that diagonal connection through your right hand down your spine into your left foot. That's it. When you exhale, you bring everything back down. Good. We take 4 more on the side. So lifting arm and opposite leg. Exhale, release. Take your upper body with you as high as you can. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lower. Lovely. 2 more on the side. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Make that connection. Exhale, lower. Change sides. So reaching your left arm forwards. Flip the palm so it looks towards the right. And then thinking about extending arm and leg away from the center first. So reaching away and then lifting up as you breathe in. Exhale is what lowers it down. Inhale, reach and lift and lift. Lift leg and arm. Exhale, release. 3 more. Inhale, reaching forwards and then up. Exhale, lower. Very nice. 2 more. Inhale, reach and lift. Exhale, lower. Last one. Inhale, reach, lift and lengthen. Exhale, lower. Great stuff. And then bringing your hands underneath your forehead. One more time. Give it a shimmy. Give it a shake. And then press your hands underneath your shoulders and bring yourself up into a tabletop position. So spread your fingers wide and extend your right leg behind you. So extend your right leg behind you on the ground. So keeping all 5 toes on the ground to start with. Both hip bones, frontal hip bones, are facing down towards the ground. Now round your upper spine, almost feeling like you're creating that hunchback in the upper spine, pulling your belly gently in, lifting your right leg off the ground onto height of your pelvis. So lifting the leg, flexing the foot, both hip bones are looking down. And that might be enough, so you can stay here. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit, reach your opposite arm forwards, just as we did right now on the ground. The palm is facing towards, so it should be the right leg and left arm. So your left palm faces towards the right side. Good. Again, thinking about that connection, just as we did earlier, from your fingertips down your spine, into your tailbone, into your heel. Very nice work, everyone. Keep it holding here for 1 more breath. And then with control, you bring first your hand down, then the knee. Take a little shimmy from side to side with your hips. Tuck your toes under. And then shift your pelvis back towards your heels. Keep your hands where they are and move your pelvis back towards your heels. Maybe your forehead comes down towards the ground. So it's a variation of child's pose with our toes tucked. And you might find that it really stretches through the soles of the feet. And then as you inhale, you shift your weight forwards onto your hands. You point your feet, so you stretch your feet, bringing the tops of the feet back down. Shift your weight back to your heels and sit into your variation of a child's pose. So hips back to your heels. Maybe they touch the heels, maybe they don't. It really doesn't matter. We're working on that direction. Take a breath in, shift your weight forwards onto all 4s. You tuck your toes. So put your toes on the ground and then shifting your weight back, stretching out the soles of the feet, working with the breath. Soles of the feet can get really tight. So for some, this might be really uncomfortable, but it's a really good stretch to do for your feet. And then inhale, shifting your weight forwards, point your feet. And sit back onto your heels into your child's pose. Take a moment here. Very nice, everyone. When you're inhaling next, shift your weight forwards onto all 4s. Extend your right leg back and behind you. Keep it on the ground. Square your hips. Left leg. left leg. That was on me. Left leg behind you. So left leg behind you, both hip bones are looking down, round your upper spine. Then lifting your leg into the air so that it's as high as your hips. Option to stay here. Really, the magic is in your hands. Even though you're on them, try to press your hands further into the ground and away from them. Then maybe reach your right arm forwards in line with your shoulder. Flip the palm towards the left. Think about that connection through the center. Fingertips down, diagonally across. Ever so slightly lift your chin, not by much, but just a little bit. That's it. Take a breath. Good stuff. Bringing the hand down, bringing the leg down. Shimmy the hips from side to side. Very nice. Then come into a knee stand, hands into your hips. Shrug the shoulders back. Step your right foot forwards into a low lunge with your left knee on the ground. Feel free to double up your mats. Feel free to put a cushion underneath your back knee, or just put something under the back knee if you feel like that's needed. From here, we'll bring our hands onto our front knee just for a moment. Keep your upper body upright and allow your hips to descend down, your pelvis down. So imagine if I was in the room, I would gently give you a very gentle push with my hand on your lower back, just where your tailbone is, and gently push your pelvis forwards. From here, take small circles with your front knee into one direction, really small circles, and it might make it a little bit wobbly. Good thing is we're very close to the ground, so if you have to put one hand down, feel free. And then take it into the other direction. That's it. From here, reaching your arms up towards the sky, we take 3 circles. Arms go up, back, down, and forwards. Up, back, down, and forwards. Up, back, down, and forwards. Reaching your arms up, 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 up. Exhale, bow forwards as if you're diving into water. Placing your hands right and left next to your front foot. Walk your left hand more out to the left. So place your left hand more towards the left. Bring your right hand onto your heart. And then open your heart towards the sky. That's it. You may reach your other arm up towards the sky. So you may reach your right arm up towards the sky. That's it. Allow your hip to be very heavy. Yes, very nice. Take one more breath here. Exhale, melt the hand down. And step the foot back into all fours. Good. Bring yourself up into a kneeling position. Step your left foot forwards. Watch out for the cat. And then shifting your weight forwards a little bit more. Thinking about your pelvis moving forward more rather than your upper body. And we start with the circles of the front knee. And take it into the opposite direction. Good. Bend a little deeper. Reaching arms up towards the sky and take it back, down, and forwards. Back, down, forwards, and up, and back, down, forwards, and up, lifting through the fingertips. Exhale, bow forwards as if you're diving into water. That's it, very nice. Place both hands right and left next to your foot on the ground. Bring your right hand more towards the right on the ground. That's it. Try to have your hand either flat or on fingertips. Yeah. And then from here, bring your left hand onto your heart. Rotate your heart towards the ceiling and reaching your left arm up towards the sky. Good. Think still more about dropping your pelvis deeper and deeper as you exhale down into the ground. Nice stuff. Bring your top hand down, stepping back into your tabletop, into a kneeling position, coming into a squat to bring you up into standing. Yeah, so standing up. And reaching your arms up towards the sky, full body stretch. That's it, glorious. And then exhale. We bring our arms down by our side. Have a little bit of softening in the back of the knees. And then depending on how much space you have, you can be now as wild or as intricate as you wish with this movement. So thinking about the softening through the knee, and our upper body moves from side to side. So we're rotating our upper body from side to side. Your arms swing around you and you can keep them fairly soft. And so they're wrapping around you as you're moving your upper body from side to side. They start wrapping around you. If you make soft fists, you can even give yourself just a little bit of a pat on the back, a little bit of a pat on the front of the hip, activating our lymphatic drainage system here a little bit with those pats. And then slowing that down, relaxing your shoulders, and then reaching your arms up towards the sky one more time. Exhale, hands to your heart. Lovely. We come to our lunges. So you might want to turn in a way that you've got space to step back. Hands into your hips. Keep your hips as they are, so they want to face forward. Step your right foot back and behind you. We stay in our lunge position. So remember, the back foot naturally wants to turn out slightly, but can you bring it in a little bit more? So right heel more out to the right, right heel more out to the right, and toes a little bit more towards the left. Bend the front knee. Again, thinking about something heavy is hanging off of your tailbone, and that pulls your pelvis slightly forwards, your upper body back. Reaching your arms up towards the sky. We take 3 circles, going back, down, up, and forwards. Good. Back, down, forwards, and up, back, down, and forwards, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Take a breath. Exhale, hands to your hips, lean slightly more forward, step into that front foot and stepping the back foot to close forwards and in. Good. Very nice work. Shake it out. Wobbles are part of the game. So especially if we're doing asymmetric poses where one leg is in front of the other, wobbles are part of it. It's more about how do we manage them. So I've been practicing for almost 10 years and I've got a dance degree. I still wobble in poses. It's not about not wobbling. It's about how do we manage when that happens. So we'll come to the other side and then step your left leg back. Bend your front knee, turning your back foot parallel to the front foot. Turn it slightly out. Good. Then imagine that someone is gently pulling your right hip back. You can actually do this with your right hand, ever so slightly moving it backwards. Yes, very nice, everyone. Reaching your arms forwards, up, back, and down, forwards, up, back, and down. One more, forwards, up, back, and down. Hands into your hips, leaning forwards into that front foot. Step the back foot in to meet the front foot. There you go. And shake it out. Often it also can be, because we know what happened on the first side, often the first side, whether it's a stronger side or not, doesn't really matter. Often that one can be a little bit less stable because we're sort of concerned with, oh, I wonder what's coming next, even if it's not an active question. But once we've done it on one side, usually the second side, whether it's you're more stable or not, often just happens to be more stable, I think, more from a psychological point of view rather than a physical point of view. Okay, so let's turn towards the long edge of your mat. Turning around, we'll come to a warrior two. So step your feet wide. Turning your right heel in, toes out. That's going to be your front foot. So the right heel turns in and the toes are pointing away from you. You bend the front knee. Your hips are gently open towards the right. So your left hip comes a little bit more forwards whilst your right hip pulls a little bit back. That's it. And then your upper body faces towards the long edge of the mat. Your arms reaching out sideways. Good. You can hold here for 3 breaths. If you feel fairly stable, as you breathe in, you can lift your front heel off the ground. Challenge your balance. As you exhale, you bring the heel down. Inhale, you lift the heel. Exhale, you bring it down. Inhale, you lift the heel. Exhale, you lower it down. Very nice. From here, bring your hands onto your hips. Stretch your front leg out. Turn the front foot back into a parallel position to the back leg. And now our left leg becomes our front leg. So turn your heel in, toes out. Bend your front knee. Again, thinking about gently pulling your left hip slightly back, rolling your right hip slightly forwards. Your upper body still faces towards the long edge of the mat. Stretch your arms out. Try to really stretch through your back leg. So think about the outer edge of your now right foot pressing into the ground. Same thing here. You can turn your chin over your left shoulder. And then maybe as you breathe in for the next 3 breaths, you can lift your heel. And as you exhale, you lower it down. Inhale, you lift the heel. Exhale, you lower it down. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, you lower it down. Great. Hands into the hips. Lengthening your front leg. Turning your front foot parallel. And then bringing your feet together. Very nice, everyone. Shake it out. You can stay in this direction that you're facing right now, or you can turn back to the short edge of the mat. It really depends on what you prefer, but you don't have to face the long edge of the mat. You bring your feet together or hip width apart. We come into our chair pose, Utkatasana. So we have the different positions here in our feet. I think we worked on that last week. So you can either have your feet together as you're sitting back and bending your knees. Sometimes some people find that easier. You can also bring your feet as wide as the hip. Here, sometimes what happens is that our knees are rolling in. So if you have your feet hip width apart, make sure that you're really clear as to where the weight is in your feet and that you want to have it more on the outer edge than on the inner edge of the foot. That being said, we also don't want them to splay out. So you can imagine that you've got a squeezy ball between your knees that sometimes can help. So from here, hands to your heart, press your thumbs. So come into a prayer position. The thumbs presses against your breastbones, the big bone in the upper chest. You lift your heart. You bend your knees, stick your bottom out. You keep your feet down on the ground, all like the whole sole of the foot. You shrug the shoulders back. That's it. And sit back into slightly too short of a bar stool. Lovely. Now think about lengthening through your neck a little bit more. So bringing that chin ever so slightly down without dropping the head. That's it. Good. You can stay here or you can send your arms forwards in line with your shoulders. Your palms are facing each other. Lovely. Now as you exhale, can you just sink that little bit deeper? And that might just be an inch, not even that. When you inhale, you stretch arms, stretch legs, stretch everything out towards the sky. Lengthen your legs, press the floor away with your feet, arms high. Exhale, hands back to your heart. Lovely stuff. We're going to do that one more time. Hands to your heart, bend your knees, stick your bottom out, sit back into your chair pose. Good. Very nice. Now, you're sticking your bum out, and now, just ever so slightly, keeping your spine as it is, think about sending your sits bones more towards your heels. Or thinking about sending your pubic bone ever so slightly more forwards. Sit a little deeper. Reach your arms maybe in line with your shoulders towards the front. Keep breathing. Whatever you do, keep breathing. I know this is a tough pose. Then as you inhale, you stretch your arms, you stretch your legs, stretch everything out towards the sky. Beautiful work. Exhale, bring everything down. Arms down by your side, not everything down. Arms by your side. And shake it out. We'll do one more thing standing, and then we come to the ground. So walk your feet wider than your hips. If you've got a yoga mat, actually as wide as the yoga mat is a good indicator or a good measure. And you turn your toes slightly out, heels slightly in. So we're in a comfortable turnout position. Again, imagine there's something like a heavy thing hanging off of your tailbone. One of my teachers always a tin of tuna or a tin of beans. Depends on what you choose. But we're having that hang from our tailbone. You reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands through the middle to your heart. And as you're gliding your hands down, you bend your knees. Start bending your knees, really drawing them out towards the outer edge of your feet. Good. You will start pushing your bum out a little bit, but here, can you really work on like dropping the tailbone down? And then as you inhale, you lengthen your legs, you stretch your arms out. And we repeat that a few more times. Exhale, hands through the middle, bend your knees, bring your knees really wide and nice, open out to the outer edges of the feet. Inhale, you stretch up. We do that 3 more times. You can work in your own timing. Exhale is what brings you down. Inhale is what lifts you up. Good. Try not to rush it, really working with breath. Very nice. One last one. And then when you're reaching up last time, you bring your hands into your hips. Beautiful. And walking your feet in. Shake your legs out. So that's quite tough work on our hips, quite tough work on the glutes, on the quads exactly. So there's a lot of stuff happening. It's a really good thing to do, especially, as we are today, a women only class. It's very good for our legs to be strong. So we need to strengthen our legs. So it's a really good thing to kind of have that in your toolkit of strengthening legs. Are these kind of like squatting positions called goddess pose. It's a really nice way of working the adductors and working our glutes. So now we're bringing our feet back in, and you can come to sit down. That being said, it's not something that just the women need doing. Men need to be doing that too. And we'll come into a cross-legged position. You can bring your favorite leg in front. And we take a few more twists here before we come to lie down. So reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twisting over towards your left, bringing right hand onto left knee, left hand behind you. Shrug, shoulders back, lifting through your heart. Again, thinking about your heart is beaming a beam of light up towards the sky. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, take it to the other side. So left hand on right knee, right hand behind you, shoulders back, heart lifted, dropping through both sit bones equally into the earth. Very nice, everyone. And then come back to center, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, stretch your legs out in front of you. Moving anything, if you're sitting on something, moving that out of the way. Come a little bit more forwards on your mat. We're going to come to lie back down when we're using a Pilates roll down. So bend your knees for that if you wanted something more soothing. If you feel you want to do more core work, you can keep your legs long. Your arms are reaching forwards and facing one another. Then slot your upper arms back into your shoulders. Think about your heart still lifting, and then scoop your tailbone under, slowly rolling yourself back down like a wallpaper into the ground. There's a moment where your body wants to speed up. Can you slow down? Slow it down. Slow it down. Lovely. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Once you're at the ground, you may bend your knees. Good. Lovely. Now bend your knees, bring them hip width apart. Beautiful stuff. Walking your feet ever so slightly closer there, Esther, just a little bit. From here, reach your arms up towards the sky and then back and behind you. And then reaching them up to the sky and next to you. So down by your side. You're just going to do that for a moment. So reaching the arms up to the sky and back. And then up and forwards. You don't have to stop there, so you can just move through it, but the direction is up and back and forwards and down. And there's not really a stop. Good. Last one like this. And then you start adding a pelvic lift. So press your feet into the ground as you lift your arms, you lift your hips. You're reaching the arms back and behind you. As you exhale, bring your hips down, bring your arms down by your side. Good. We're going to do 2 more like this. Breathing in, arms back, hips high. Exhale, hands down, pelvis down. Last one, arms back, up. That's it, hips up. Exhale, lower down. Good. From here, reach your arms sideways in line with your shoulders. Palms are looking up towards the ceiling. If you don't have enough space here, you can always bend your elbows so that the hands are somewhat on the same height as your head. Your elbows are down by the side, and you're doing this cactus shape or a hands up shape. And we'll start with moving our knees from side to side like a windshield wiper. Feet are staying on the ground. Slow it down. Slower, slower. Yes. So often what happens is that we're trying to rush through this movement, and it doesn't really give us the benefit if we do that. So try to really slow it down, working with the breath. So as you exhale, your knees move to the ground. As you inhale, opposite hip pulls back, and that brings the knees back. That's the articulation. Exhale, knees fold to the other side. If you wanted to, you can start adding moving a chin in opposition. So if your knees are falling to the right, you move your head over to the left. Good. Very nice. From here, you bring your feet back into a parallel, hip width apart. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Now place the bottom part of your hands into your hip crease so that your fingers and palms are lying on your thighs. And now press your thighs forwards away from you. So you're pressing into your thighs and you're pressing your thighs away. You might even feel that there is a little bit of a accentuation of your lumbar spine, so your lower half of the spine. You might feel that there is a curvature. And then releasing the hands down by your side. Reach your right leg up high towards the sky. Bend the right knee, open the knee, and place your right ankle on your left thigh. Then, so keep your left leg is on the ground. Your right ankle is on top of the left knee. That's it. No, you had it, Sarah. You had it. It's bent. So your standing leg is bent. That's it. Now, your right leg that's on top of the left, move it ever so slightly over to the left so that you're more on the lower outer shin rather than the ankle. Press your right knee away from you. And hold it here. Flex your right foot. Take a few breaths in here. And then extend the leg up to the sky. And we change the legs. So bringing your right foot down, the right foot stays on the ground, knee stays bent. Lift your left leg up high, bend your left knee, open it out to the side, placing your left ankle on top of the right thigh, just below the knee. Then send the foot over a little bit more towards the right so that you're not on the ankle, but just above the ankle. And as you exhale, place your left hand onto your left thigh / knee, depending on where that feels good, and gently guide that left knee more forwards. So you don't want to have a lot of pressure there, but you want to more thinking about gently guiding the knee open. Take a few breaths here. And stretch the leg up towards the sky. Good. Bring the foot down. And stretch your legs out to the front of the mat. Bring your feet as wide as the mat. Allow the feet to be open and floppy. Your arms are by your side. Palms are facing the ceiling. That's our traditional position of our Shavasana, as if you're starting a snow angel. Now, if this doesn't work for your lower back, at any point, you can change this position into our variation from the beginning, where you walk your feet out as wide as the mat, bend the knees, and let them fall into each other to rest against each other. If you need to change your position whilst you're in your Shavasana, you may do so. Try to do it very slowly and mindfully, not to disturb the body. And then give your body permission to rest. To soften and to find ease. A few moments of pure relaxation. You breathe and calm You exhale tension. Your body melts into the earth. Give your body permission to rest. Your heart permission to remain open. And your mind permission to drift off. Right here, right now, nothing else needs doing. With every exhale, your body melts deeper into the earth. You breathe in calm. You exhale tension. Every fiber in your body starts to relax. And then very slowly, bring your awareness back to the room that you're in, to the sounds around you near and far, to the feeling of the clothes on your skin, the temperature in the room that you're in. You invite movement into the body by deepening your breath, wiggling fingers and toes, moving head gently from side to side. Allow the movement to grow, maybe bend your knees. Stretch the arms above your head. Take a yawn, a sigh. You're all muted. And then you can roll onto your right side. Take a moment here. Press yourself up into one last seated position of your choice. Gather hands in front of your heart. And let's bow down to our hearts. Let's finish our practice with a few words of gratitude to say thank you to our body for carrying us through this practice, for supporting us and our loved ones throughout this week, and for always giving us a home no matter what. With love and great respect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sarah, Esther, Jenny.